emotionally because he's seen a better life for me, and it wasn't pleasing men. It was to please him. Out of all the relationships, the whole purpose was to please him and not man. Now, this doesn't take away from the fact that, I do want to get married and I do want a husband and all the things. It's just, I did not trust God in my emotions at a certain point because I felt like the Lord has forsaken me. And we all know the promise that the Lord will never leave nor forsake us. He is not a man that he shall lie, right? And so I was putting more confidence in men than in my God, who brought me these men to maybe be a light unto their life, or maybe for them to tell me something. Sometimes it's not always about us. It's about their deliverance. And there's a lot of things that I thought I was supposed to do for them. In all actuality, it was just for me to be me and trust that God has already instilled every resource within me to just be the light. There's no forcing. I felt like I was forcing it. I felt like I was being inauthentic. I felt like I was trying too hard, and I wasn't letting my guard down. And so when God allowed me to have certain relationships, it truly showed me that God sees me so much more good. Like, I'm a gift. I'm a good thing. A man who finds a wife finds a good thing. But it's not only in relation with people. I am a good thing to God, because I remember around that time before the Lord delivered me and brought somebody to me who also needed deliverance. And now that I'm thinking about it, it's like, wow, we both needed deliverance. But God put us together so he could deal with that one thing at the same time. And I was sabotaging things. In my perspective, I believe that it was sabotage. However, I'm not going to negate the fact that I thought infidelity was happening, right? So if we're talking about relationships and we're talking about trauma and past experiences and relationships that included infidelity, of course that's going to be in my mind, right? But we cannot allow our past to dictate our future, and that's what I believe was happening. Because my ex was coming back and things like that, and it's just like, this is not for nothing for me to be able to have an experience with a good rounded guy, and then all of a sudden my ex wants to come back into my life. It's just like, so I'm thankful God delivered me from that, and wanting him and craving the connection that we once had in our past, but also reminding me that this new guy is trying to show me the better side of a relationship, and I trust God in it, right? I trust God in it, but my mind could not align with my spirit. My flesh could not align with my spirit. My flesh was lusting after my spirit heavily. So around that time, it was a lot going on, and I believe, jeopardize or sabotage that relationship. However, all things work together for good to those who love God and those who are called according to his purpose. So I continue to pray and ask for deliverance constantly of not allowing my past to dictate my future. So I'm saying all that to say that when you don't know what to do with your emotions and your feelings, do not be like me, how I was in my past, and suppress them. Please do not suppress your feelings. Do not suppress your emotions. If you need to cry, cry. If you need to get angry and scream in your pillow, do it. If you think that worship music will help you get that breakthrough, then do it. Okay? Because this morning I was going to say, you know what? I'm just going to suppress these feelings and play music over it and just drown it out, But then I was just like, you know what? God has given me resources based off my prayers of, Lord, help me with my mind, help me with my mental health journey. And for me to have that mental health program on my birthday this year, I turned 27. That was truly an answered prayer, and it gave me confidence And it encouraged me to not look at mental health as a negative thing. Obviously, it's a lot of silent things that I don't speak about. And some of that is for a reason. However, it could help somebody's deliverance. Okay, that's the topic. And so I looked into the books that I received from that program, and I looked into, anxiety and trauma disorder and things like that, and how our minds and our psychological way of thinking from trauma can really make you sabotage things that God has created for us to have abundance in our life. And it's like that can rob you of everything. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to suppress this. I'm going to look into it. I'm going to gain awareness of it. And sometimes I think, okay, if I gain awareness of it, then I'm not going to really want to do it because I don't want it. I don't want to face the facts. I don't want to face the truth. That's why I would suppress it. However, I gained the awareness of it and I said, you know what? I'm going to feel my feelings. I'm going to stop worrying. I'm going to feel my emotions and ask myself why. Why am I thinking about my past so much now? Because of the abundance that I had. And it felt like ordered steps. Like I was walking in obedience. And my flesh lusting after my spirit slowly was robbing me without me knowing. But so feeling our feelings and our emotions, they're indicators of what's in our heart and what God needs to come out of you. So look at it as, count it as joy, because that is something that God sees in you. He saw in me. He said, no, do not suppress it. Use this as an indicator to deliver you from emotional distress of relationships so that you can trust me in a relationship. So that you can have deeper relationships with people. It doesn't even have to just be romantic, just in general. Cast off all your anxieties, for I care for you. And that's exactly what I be thinking about and doing and writing down and just speaking about, because it is some type of anxiety. It is some type of trauma that I need to deal with and trust God in. I do, because I literally said out of my mouth when I was in North Carolina around the time, it was like March, April, May, February, March, January, February. It was like in January or so. I said a lot. I said, God, I don't trust you in my relationships. I don't. And I feel like that was what the devil heard. And he ran with it. He ran with it. But what he don't know is that God already had an escape for me. He already set up a standard for me to come back home, delivering me from North Carolina and all the lust that I was dealing with. You know you're lusting when you're dating different types of men. Now, I was not doing all of that, okay? Because I want to be very transparent. I wasn't doing the do with the guys that I was talking to, because it was truly a ministry. Like the ministry was, okay, I want to spread the gospel. I want to meet other Christians that truly, truly, truly live for the Lord. And I could not find that in Buffalo, it seemed like. So I'm just like, you know what? My heart's been in North Carolina. Let me go there, travel. God has given me dreams and all the things about floods and stuff. This was like this was a year ago. And then at the end of my mark, I got there in September, dang near, and I left in April. That is a 7-month duration. And we know the number 7 means completion. And so to me, I'm looking at it like, wow, I'm just now getting back on my feet. In February, I had met this guy. And it was truly a connection that I was seeking, because it was like, you know what? I've never really actually liked someone. They just liked me and I didn't quite like them as much. So after I said, God, I don't trust you in my relationships. And then I said, you know what? I'm leaving that guy I was talking to because no, it's not giving. Right? And I said, you know what? I'm going to focus on me. When you say something aloud and it's in purpose, best believe the devil is going to come and try to take it from you. Because I said, I'm going to take care of myself. I started putting myself first in my mind. I set my mind up. He wants this. He wants this, right? It's a playground to him, but it's God's holy place because he said, love the Lord with all your heart, mind, and soul, right? So I said that, lo and behold, here comes someone I work with. And then it went on, and then I fornicated. And I didn't feel any type of conviction. And the first time I didn't, I was like, oh, this is not okay. Because usually I feel convicted. I did not feel any conviction. I did not feel any conviction whatsoever. And I was not even scared about it. And I'm just like, Lord, I've been calling on you about lust. And I've been fasting about lust and all these things way before this guy even came back. No, not came back. Even way before this guy started pursuing me. It's funny because I was working with him before. And then all of a sudden I say in my mind, set up in my mind, I am going to put myself first. And then that's the day that he wants to pursue me. And I'm just like, you know what? I've been alone these 6 months. I've been wanting a connection after trying to do God's will or thinking I was doing God's will. And I feel like it got me nowhere. So you know what? I'm just going to go for it. I'm going to go for it. And I wasn't thinking about fornicating or nothing like that. I wasn't thinking about any of that, right? And do I have to go?